And here we are again. Myself, Carl, from the Trekkie's Guide. Over to my... that side, we have Richard from the Riker's Beard.
Hello.
And we also seem to have inherited a Stormtrooper.
This is the WWE wrestler called The Shocker. WWE fans will know exactly what I'm talking about here. This is The Shocker.
Yeah, I'm afraid it's beyond
me.
Oh, who'd have thought it? Unfortunately, Dan is unable to be with us this evening. However, you have the joy of us three gentlemen. I was actually looking forward to our first feature there, James, but with the helmet still on and see how that plays out.
We can try it.
It could be interesting. First off, though, let's say hello to a few people that are already tuning in. Chris, good evening, Chris. How are you?
What ho, Chris?
We have Megan.
Hey, Megan.
Good evening, Megan.
Hey.
Nadim.
Hey, buddy.
God, the people who do Star Wars cosplay, this is really hot in here.
Christoph, how you doing?
Do you remember seeing
I'm going to
that?
go through Christoph. Every week you pop up here, and I never try and pronounce your surname. I can bring it back up again. I'm going to have a go at this. Leichleitner. Do you reckon I've got that right?
I can't even read it. I'm in the helmet.
Leichleitner? I'm going to go for Leichleitner because it sounds nice.
We've got Gary on board this evening.
Hey, Gary. How you doing?
See you next Saturday, Gary.
See you on Saturday.
No, with you saying about the helmet, James, it just makes me think of that that scene out of A New Hope where the Stormtrooper accidentally walks into the door as it's going up.
Actually, tonight, James has come as Craig Charles. No.
What?
Daniel Craig.
Yes, Daniel Craig.
Yes. They're very similar.
Oh, no, Megan's working.
Oh, that's a shame.
Never mind, Megan. You're doing a fantastic job.
We're working also.
Yes, we're bringing joy to both of you who are watching.
Oh, dear. So, shall we head into our first segment then, gents? Our first feature for the evening.
Okay,
That's a good idea.
I'm going to put this away. It's too hot.
Oh, I was about to ask you to secure your helmet for the feature, James, but here we go.
Well, yes. Welcome to this evening's edition of Have We Got Booze Reviews for Yous.com.net.org.zip. Tonight's cocktail is in honor of a very special friend of ours. This is for our friend Carol from the Trekkie Girls, who is celebrating a significant birthday today, 25 again.
Happy birthday, Carol.
Happy birthday, Carol. So we're going to call this one the, what do we say, the short, sweet blonde.
Sweet blonde.
And for this, you will need some Mimician orange from Mimas, which is a moon of Saturn.
I thought that was French for Morrison's.
Well known for its orange production. So I'm just going to cut the top off that to show that it's clearly freshly squeezed. And we'll also need some fizzy wine. Now, you might like to use champagne, because I'm pretty confident that Carol would, but I'm cheap, so I'm using Prosecco.
Is that a real plastic cork?
It's a real plastic cork made of real plastic. Have a look at that.
If the viewer could please see that the level of detail that's gone into this, they've actually got fake plastic wire mesh to hold the fake plastic cork in place, which I think is above and beyond.
Look at that, it's fantastic. Would you like to pop the cork, Richard?
Absolutely.
That's pride in your work right
Careful
there.
Careful with that shot.
Oh, hang on. Hang on, let me just pop the cork. There we are, right.
Right, so take your Mimician orange, freshly squeezed, as is evident from the Tetra Pak that it came in. And then top up with the fizzy wine of your choice. Now, people traditionally think of champagne as the only go-to fizzy wine, but of course that's French, and we're British. And there are plenty of very good English sparkling white wines, of which this is not one because this is Italian. But why not use English wine? Chin Chin.
So this is essentially Bucks Fizz.
It's a mimosa.
That's the first time I've tasted a short sweet blonde, and I'm not disappointed.
We're both married to short sweet blondes, of course.
Well, temporarily, sometimes blonde, sometimes brunette. So.
You meant temporarily married. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Chin Chin.
Needs more fizz.
Good call there, Chris. Careful with your aim, gents.
That's not half bad. That's all right. It tastes a lot like a Bucks Fizz.
It does, but it's a mimosa.
Yeah. It's a
From the Moon Mimas.
I'm glad we've cleared that up.
I'll set a course right now.
Good evening, Linda.
Hey, Linda.
Well, hi, Linda.
Why not enjoy a short, sweet blonde with us?
Yes.
Absolutely.
We can take it in turns.
To try the short, sweet blonde.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Mine's more of a sort of tall, leggy blonde.
That's next week's cocktail.
I prefer short ones. Sorry.
Okay. Well, should we look at?
I wonder what the button marked override actually does. Move on quickly.
Linda apparently is a short, sweet blonde.
Oh well, we're happy to try you.
Well,
Absolutely.
Linda, welcome to the club.
And you're not a short, sweet blonde,
Well, the club of short, sweet blondes that we know.
but have yet to try.
So I was thinking, gents, should we have you perchance had the opportunity to peruse Lower Decks season 2 finale?
Yes, I loved it.
How about you, Mr. Sir Richard?
And I have been watching it.
Well, in that case, you've missed out on this.
Ooh, the Excelsior.
No, it's an Ovina class, I think it's called.
This is if I remember correctly, I have only seen the episode the once so far, but was it the Archimedes?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's a sort of Excelsior variant, if you look at it.
Yeah, it's a lovely take on a cross between the Excelsior, the Enterprise B variant, with a Sovereign class engines. So
that it looks there like those people that say move up, not move house. They've gone into the loft, haven't they? They've put another story on it, haven't they? That's what they've done.
They've extended the neck.
Yeah. They've just
No,
I don't know about you boys, but I've always thought the Excelsior, and this may be an unpopular opinion, but was one of the ugliest classes of ship we ever saw. I mean, it looked like a brick compared to the Enterprise A or the recommissioned Enterprise, which was just ethereal in the way that she floated across the screen.
I think with the Excelsior, it's very much dependent on the angle.
Well, most angles, it's got very straight lines, and it's quite sort of blocky, really, isn't it?
And I think that Lower Decks have probably chosen the best angle in this particular shot.
We've got to remember that the Excelsior, the Enterprise C took a lot of its lines from the Excelsior, and that I think showed what a nice refined ship it could be. That's not a flattering. Yeah, no. Not. I mean, it kind of looks like a starbase with a nacelle strap.
It looks pregnant, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does, and when you think about the final shot of the Excelsior in Star Trek 6, the phrase that always jumps into my head is, "Does my bum look big in this?" The Enterprise and the Excelsior are moving away. Yeah, it's just not a very flattering shot, is it? Oh, Christoph thinks that the episode 9, the episode before the finale, was way better.
Which was that one? Remind me, Carl.
It's the one.
Was that the one with the holodeck training?
Oh, the hologram. The holodeck training scenarios. And Boimler has he tries to get the perfect score, doesn't he?
That's right. Yeah.
Chris, I agree with you. The Sovereign is beautiful, but the what do they call it? The refit Enterprise. For me, there's nothing that has ever come close to that.
No, I would agree. Definitely.
as much as there's been a lot of really bad ships, like the ones we see in Discovery, we got a lot of really beautiful ships in the golden era of Trek. And I think the bravest and the most successful was the Defiant, I have to say, because
that was totally left field.
That was a really brave thing to do, and it's wonderful. It's a superb ship. So that for me, that's my favourite ship, and I think it was a very bold design choice to go ahead and do it, and it worked perfectly. So
yeah.
I'm going to see if I can find the video of this.
It would appear that Chris
there's a brilliant
agrees.
video of the Defiant.
Yeah, well, Chris is correct. Yeah.
See, one of my favourites. Let me retire to my shelf for a moment. One of my favourites from the golden era was always this little beauty.
You've got to remember, we're looking at this on a small screen, Carl. You're going to have
The Nebula class.
Oh, with the scientific array on the top.
Yeah, well, it was interchangeable. It could be scientific, it could be weaponry, and it always struck me because obviously it's a cut down and chopped up version of the Galaxy class, but it always struck me as sort of like the nippy little brother of the Galaxy class,
kind of like a hot hatchback.
Yes, yes, that's it.
Although it's one thing,
like a Golf GTI.
We know, don't we, that a lot of the ships are basically kit bashes, where they've gone out and bought commercial kits of the ships they've designed and then just stuck them together in different ways. And I've always thought sometimes it doesn't make sense when they do that, and they've just stuck the parts together in a different configuration and gone, well, that's a different class. But you go, well, why would you build it with these components?
That's what Volkswagen have been doing with their cars for years.
That's true, but that's what the Russians have been doing for years with all their military tech. Oh, look, it's the cetaceans.
Absolutely. Finally, it is.
We got into the Sea Quest now. What's going on here?
No. Lower Decks has carried on its great tradition of stuff that's almost been canon over the years. They've canonized it.
No, it was canon. Cetacean Ops was always canon.
Well, technically, it was never shown on screen, and the only time it was mentioned,
it was mentioned,
in yesterday's Enterprise, which wasn't.
No idea what. I've no idea what. Let's assume I've no idea what you're talking about for our viewers. And can someone talk me through what's going on here with what? What's going on here?
Well, hang on, I think.
Do you want to take this one, Carl, or shall I?
What is you chatting about?
You take it while I try and find my copy of the technical manual.
Right, in the Enterprise D technical manual, written by our friend Rick Sternbach,
friend of the show,
Rick Sternbach, he talks about Cetacean Ops, which is a whole sort of couple of decks at the front of the saucer where you have some navigation specialists who are in fact 12 bottlenose dolphins. And I think they've got a couple of humpback whales as well.
So who talks about this?
Rick Sternbach does in the technical manual.
Okay, but in the actual show, is it ever?
It is mentioned in the show.
Right.
There's you remember Dr. Hewer from Buck Rogers?
Yes.
Yeah, the guy who plays him comes on as an ambassador or something, and Geordie takes him to one side and says, "Do you want to go and see the dolphins?" And he leads him off.
What episode is that on?
Oh, I can't remember. We can find it out. But yes,
I do recall him.
So it is mentioned. It's in the technical plans that we've got, the big sort of A1 plans, the Cetacean Ops.
It sounds like they're taking the piss out of Sequest.
But it is.
I think they did it before Sequest, didn't they?
It is also mentioned in yesterday's Enterprise when they're in 10 forward. The speaker in the background asks for a member of the crew to go to Cetacean Ops.
Yeah.
Like, can you get your snorkel and go to? Like, what would they do if there was like an emergency?
Would you like to see my impression of Cetacean Ops?
Intruder alert! Intruder alert! Quick, can you get to corridor 12B? And there's just like that lying on the floor gasping for air, just like doing now.
Richard, dolphins are mammals. They breathe air.
And we also have another, as Lower Decks has been doing throughout its 2 seasons, another callback to TNG here, this time with the captain of the Archimedes is none other than Sonia Gomez, who threw Captain Picard. That was way back in, was it season 1 or 2 of TNG that we saw Sonia Gomez?
I think it might be season 2.
Yeah, I think she was only in one or two episodes, wasn't she?
I think she might only have been in that one, to be honest. But yeah.
Oh, Chris is saying it was only ever background chatter. This is true. It was never shown, and now it has been. But yes, there's a great
back in the day, they couldn't. See, the beauty of Lower Decks as a cartoon is they can draw anything, and it costs no different. Whereas if TNG had tried to show us Cetacean Ops, imagine how much it would cost to build that set.
If we're going to get into physics, it actually makes perfect sense for amphibious life forms to be able to travel more efficiently interstellar than because if they're cushioned in a body of water, you know, there's all kinds of things that. Well, I know that obviously the Star Trek planets you have the inertial dampeners, but in terms of coping with the gravity of entry and re-entry of bodies in the solar system and stuff like that, you're going to make it would actually make more sense to do it underwater than sat in a capsule of air. It would be actually a lot more safer and a lot more sensible. So, but still,
also there is here's a pop quiz for you. What's the other underwater species that's spacefaring that's been shown towards the end of the Golden Era?
Enterprise Zindi.
Yeah.
The aquatics, they're the peaceful ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. But yeah, Sonia's also done her little callback to TNG there as well, saying that I can't remember what the exact line was. She was speaking to one of her ensigns that had made a mistake and referencing throwing hot chocolate over Captain Picard there, saying that she'd done way worse, not to worry about it.
The ensign there just trips over as she's turning around on the bridge, I think.
That was it. So yeah, I actually really enjoyed the Lower Decks season finale. I think the whole season 2 has been really good, to be honest.
I've enjoyed it.
I'm really pleased you've enjoyed it.
Look, it's miles better than Discovery.
I still think I really enjoyed the season. Apart from the way they bastardized the Klingons, I really enjoyed season 1 of Discovery. I thought it was good.
What about seasons 2 and 3? There you go.
Dan doesn't like it when you say bad things about anything Star Trek.
Yeah, so as my dad says, if you have nothing nice to say nothing at all.
Not going to say out. Anson Mount's really pretty.
Anson Mount is, of course, the best thing about Discovery.
Yeah. No, Jason Isaacs.
Well, all right, second best thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of Anson Mount, we've heard from him this week, haven't we?
Yes, he's been pestering us, saying, when can I come on? Let's talk Trek. Will you boys let me on your set? Can I come and stay in your house? Can I borrow some money? No, Anson, no, you can't.
Well, that wasn't quite the message I got. I got the one, basically, of him, the one that he broadcast to the rest of the world that says Strange New Worlds has now wrapped and is going into post-production.
Carl, you know the film Back to the Future?
Yes.
Biff
Tannen.
Yeah, that's Biff Tannen.
I've never seen it.
Make like a tree and get out of here.
That's one of those things that I'm never going to be able to unsee now, isn't it? Thanks for that, James.
We're talking about Anson Mount. If you haven't already watched the new Injustice film from DC, Anson Mount plays Bruce Wayne stroke Batman, and he's superb. It's a really good film, so watch it. Recommended. Anson Mount's very good in it. Not particularly pretty.
See what you've done.
Sorry, Megan.
Megan was working anyway, and now you've put that image in her head.
Hey, McFly! Anybody in there, McFly?
Hey, Biff.
I'm sorry, Megan.
Biff.
I'm sorry. So now when Strange New Worlds comes on and we get the glorious opening scene, whatever it may be, and the first time we see Biff on the captain's chair of the Enterprise. Thanks, James.
So, fun fact, the actor that played Biff, he's like some sort of evangelist now and travels around spreading the word of Jesus. It's true. It's a fact. Like,
well, that's cool.
Like Ted DiBiase, remember the $1 Million Man? He does that. He spreads the word. And what's his face?
Thank goodness Linda has a cure for your Biff Tannen comment.
Hell on wheels.
That's Linda's cure. I shall have to try that, Linda, and see if I can remove that particular image from my head. So we shall nip into, I feel, our second feature, which involves me.
Oh, is it correct?
So, we seem to have lost Richard.
He's empty chaired you.
He's empty. Oh, that's almost as bad as leaving someone hanging for a high five. That's absolutely shocking behaviour. So, dear viewer, this week on Collectibles Corner, I am actually wearing my collectible. So,
Oh, is it your lucky pants?
No, I wouldn't dare put those on show to our viewer. I'd be worried about losing them. So my collectible this week, dear viewer, is in fact my Star Trek Varsity jacket that I wear to all the conventions that I go to on at least day one. It's absolutely lovely. It was given to me as a gift by my better half for the second convention I went to. I'll try and turn around so that you can see the design on the back. And this was, I believe this went on sale at the convention in 2014, which was in London, the DSTL in London. My little claim to fame there was that she bought this prior to me going to that event. And on the Thursday night meetup, I was the only person around the area wearing this jacket. And by the end of the convention, everybody was wearing it because they were selling them at the convention. So I was very pleased to kind of like be the first one wearing it. But I've also got on here lots of the various badges. Sorry, James.
You're
James,
a trend setter, sir.
Rarely.
What's happened to my
Rarely,
microphone? Has it gone off?
No, I can hear you now. Yep. Yeah, no, rarely I'm a trend
Testing,
setter.
1, 2, 3.
That was the rare occasion. But the main reason I love this jacket is because it was bought for me to go to a convention by my better half, but also it's got all these badges on it that I bought. We've got all your excellent Riker's Beard badges here, James.
Some of which will be available for sale at our event next Saturday because there are a handful left.
They are absolutely outstanding quality and visually they are gorgeous. I mean, let's see if we can get a close up on these. Look at those.
My favorite is the black one.
The black one, we have this.
Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that a thing of beauty? Look at that.
Absolutely stunning. And then, of course, we also have the Command Red. Gorgeous badges.
Yeah, I suppose I should do the mustard and the blue, shouldn't I?
Yes. Just to be fair though. And to help me fill my jacket up. Yep, we've got a couple of the DST pins that we've had done over the years. So yeah, no, it's a great little thing, and you can pick these jackets up at a reasonable price. You know, most of them you can pick up various different designs for anywhere between 2,000 and 3,000 pence, and then just plaster them with the badges from the different conventions. Personally, I plan on getting some patches to put down the arms on this next convention.
I can't remember her name. I think her first name is Janine, but Zoe's friend had a NASA jacket that was absolutely plastered in badges. I'm sure it's Janine. Yeah, and yes. Wow, that was a brilliant jacket to start with, but she's done such a good job of plastering it with all her various patches and badges.
Now we've got a couple of comments here coming in that I've not had a chance to keep up with.
Well, wait a second, Carl. You've told us how much we can buy them for, but what's it worth?
Well, if I have to take into account the various badges on there, the personal attachment to the jacket and everything that it brings back memory-wise, I'd struggle to let it go for anything less than 20,000.
20,000 pence?
20,000 pence. I'd struggle to let it go for less than that, just purely because of the sentimentality and the memories that it brings back.
I'd pay less for a stripper.
No.
Is that a Star Wars? T-shirt on under there.
No, it's very deceptive. It's
I mean, who am I to talk? I've got a stormtrooper helmet.
And here's
here.
the next bit. It's not a T-shirt. It's really a tattoo. Hey!
Val, Kindred Spirit, has one of these jackets.
Hey, Auntie Val, how you doing?
Hey, Val.
Question from
Where
Chris.
do
Where do you guys store the bridge set? Well, they could tell you,
we
Chris,
store it
but then
on
they'd
the
have to tell
bridge.
you.
It's normally, Chris, it's in orbit.
Deck 1 normally, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you've got a telescope, you can look up and see it, and it's great.
It's like when Shatner was up in space and he saw that shadow go over the window. That was us, just there to say hello, keep an eye on him.
Oh, Megan, that's really. Do you know of all the people I'm looking forward to seeing at Destination Star Trek London, the most? I mean, genuinely, really looking forward to seeing. It's Carl, but I really want to see. but I'm really looking forward to seeing you too, Megan. Since honestly, Megan and I met for the first time at the Netflix premiere, and I've never met a more sincere, sweet, and caring person. She's a lovely little soul. I'm really looking forward to seeing you, Megan.
We hope you are coming to DST, Megan. Do let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure I've actually met Megan.
She came to the Picard premiere, so she was with us then.
I may well have done then. I did. Have
you were off doing your press bit, weren't you? Yeah. Actually, Destination. What's 4 weeks away, boys? Is that right?
I was hoping.
Yeah.
We'd be talking a lot about Destination and what we're excited for and seeing. You know, it's one of these things. We've mentioned it on the show a little bit.
God blimey, James! You just
my glass fell off.
Have mine.
Well, there's no stopping Megan.
So the thing we're looking forward to most about the convention in November, there's been a lot of talk about which stars are going to show up. You know, who's going to be here? Who's going to which is Jonathan Frakes going to be there?
Enough.
Is Doug Jones going to be there? I mean, we all want to see that girl with the computer head from Discovery, and the ginger one.
Emily Coots.
But I've got to be honest with you. I don't care about them. I want to see you, dear viewer. When I started going to these conventions, I started loving them because of the people I met there. And okay, we've been lucky enough to make some friends with some celebrities and friends of the show as well. But it's the other fans that we meet at these events that really make me look forward to going and seeing. So I don't really care which celebrities are going to turn up. I want to see as many of you there as I possibly can. And I'm going to hug as many of you that will let me.
Absolutely. And the main thing is we go and see each other and we share some time, especially we've not had a chance to see each other much, have we, recently? Let's face it.
I mean, we're going down. James and I are heading down on a Thursday. I think we're going to try and arrange something, depending on COVID regulations, for the Friday. We're going to perhaps go to the Science Museum.
The event's on Friday, isn't it?
Well, maybe on Thursday.
Thursday, I think we need.
Once we checked into the hotels, we'll arrange a trip to maybe the Science Museum or the Natural History Museum or something, and just.
Unfortunately, I've got to meet up with you on the Friday morning as I have a business meeting in London on the Thursday. So
a business meeting.
Yes, it involves our
blackjack.
No, believe it or not, it is actually a business meeting. The meeting will only last 4 hours, granted, but then the rest of the day is paid for by the company. So I'm
4 hours.
So,
well, either way, if we can't go to the Science Museum or the Natural History Museum, then please find us in the nearest pub to the convention, and we'll be there.
Well, they will have their locator beacons turned on, I'm sure, and people will be able to track you down, no doubt. Speaking of DST, we do have the list of guests here that are currently confirmed. Most recently, we've had Marina confirm, obviously. So there's a pretty good guest list so far.
Well, Ethan Phillips is going to be there. Nice to see him again. Or Scorpio is going to be there.
And Lieutenant Gruber.
This is Little
Lieutenant
Tank.
Gruber is going to be there.
Oh, yes.
Oh, of course, he played. Was it Malcolm Reed's dad?
Yes,
that's right.
The one episode.
Yeah.
Oliver Reed.
We've got a great mix there. Everything from original series with George Takei to all the way through to Discovery.
Torres is going to be there.
The whole
George
Voyager
Takei.
cast.
Don't get his name wrong.
Sorry, George Takei. Yes, I best not
Is
make
your
that
mate
mistake.
Chekhov going to be there? No.
But
Jerry
right, so
Ryan's going to be there.
as has been pointed out in the comments, that there is talk of Doug Jones and Robert Duncan McNeil not being able to go because of new work commitments.
I knew it. I had money on Robert Duncan McNeil being the first one in the capital.
You did, and we do unfortunately have a tweet from Doug Jones in the last couple of hours today, actually, saying his appearance is now in peril as a movie shoot may take that weekend away from him.
Well, they're not hoping to have all the Voyager cast there though to push the anniversary. That'd be a shame if you can't be there.
Yeah, as it stands, the whole Voyager bridge crew is still scheduled to appear. But I've got to admit, I will be slightly disappointed if Mr. Jones isn't there. I did get the chance to meet him last time, which was great. But one thing I didn't manage to do was get his signature on this Discovery poster that's got lots of signatures on it. So I need to get this filled.
Bring the poster with you. I can sort that.
We'll sign it, yeah.
I can sort that for you.
But it looks like people are looking forward to the meetup, guys. We've got some Hawaiian shirt comments going on here.
Yes, Hawaiian. Yeah, everyone's got their Hawaiian shirts. Yeah, I've got several. I'm going to bring spares in case someone forgets one.
Look, Hawaiian shirts. I've got a massive pile of them. You go on Amazon, they deliver it the next day.
Well, I'm going to bring spares just in case. I need something to wear in case I spill some wine down, possibly my main shirt.
Absolutely. We've got Mark's just joined us. Good evening, Mark. How are you?
Hey, Mark. Hope you're coming down next Saturday.
Yes, looking forward to seeing you, chap.
We've got a question here. What about next weekend? So people have obviously heard enough about DFT from us. So, gents,
right, okay,
take it away and let us know
where are you going
on next weekend. When I said take it away, Richard, I didn't mean go away. It's would you like me to? What? Are you encountering anomaly?
Hang on, let me bring my microphone. Okay. So obviously we have this. You're familiar with this. The waving cat from Choose Your Choose. We'll be here.
The Rikers Beard Bridge would not be complete without its lucky charm.
Look, we've got all these buttons you can press and things you can look at and point at and things that bleep. But yes, we have the big chair. You can come and sit in my big chair here. Come have a look at the big chair, Richard. Oh no, one of the arms has fallen off. Quick. There we go. Yes,
it is stunning, to be fair.
Pan around. So this is our sort of private bar. We have all this room, and over here is a bar we can't get into because they put the security shield on it, but our transporter is in there. And
the Birmingham Hilton Metro obviously warned them what we're like.
Yes, we've got this sort of Enterprise D skylights going on above us here. But yeah, you got there's another room that we're going to have use of, so you can go and have your meal at any time of the day. And then there's a massive bar where we walked in earlier and they're having a staff meeting, and we looked slightly embarrassed and we said, can we go down to our bridge, please? But yes, come down here next Saturday. We haven't actually decided on the start time yet, but I'm thinking probably mid-afternoon would make sense. And we're hoping lots and lots of people will come in and just have a social time with us, because we've got Gary O'Brien coming to show us his film. We're going to see what we can do at a quiz and a cosplay competition. It's going to be fun.
That'll be great. Gary there showing his film. To actually sit there and watch the film with the creator, that's going to be absolutely fantastic. Get a chance to field a few questions to him. And
the creator.
Yes.
And
no one's allowed to link with him.
We could have a competition that whoever wins the raffle gets to sit in this chair to watch the film.
Oh yes.
Yeah, there we go.
And anybody who hasn't had the privilege of seeing the Riker's Beard set pieces, they are absolutely outstanding. There's so much time and effort gone into them. They really are a thing of beauty.
James does it all for charity. He doesn't like to mention
I don't like to mention it.
No, obviously not. No. So
I'm just waiting for my knighthood.
We shall look at a little bit more news now, gents, I feel. So let me
news.
Let's have some news. I'm looking forward to that.
We've got also recently, do we know what this is, gents?
That's a comic.
Yeah,
that's a comic.
That's Marina Sirtis a long time ago.
Yes. So this is the news that I believe it's going to be 8 issues in this particular run, and it's the Mirror War, the cover art done by a friend of the show, J.K. Woodward.
Friend of the show, J.K. Woodward,
Not rolling.
Absolutely fantastic bloke. He's done the cover art for that, and yes, I believe it's an 8-part series about the Terran Empire under the ruthless leadership of Jean-Luc Picard.
What you say, this is the thing. I know that we live in democracy, but I don't think there's anything wrong with a dictatorship as long as you have a good dictator. And you can't ask for better than Hans Rosling or Jean-Luc Picard, in my opinion. So if there has to be a dictator, I think Picard would be a good one. I'd happily live under his rule. Be fine by me.
Probably make some fairly sensible decisions, even in that position, granted.
If he's an emperor, he's still wearing a Starfleet uniform, I notice.
Yes. Yeah, that's
no, it's not
a little confusing.
Terran Empire.
Well, Terran Empire.
Terran Empire, yeah. He's emperor of the Terran Empire, so you're not going to turn up to work wearing a dressing gown, is he?
Well, no, but he could. Well, I suppose the Queen wears military uniforms and so forth.
Jogging bottoms, or like, you know what I mean, or Crocs.
And of course, J.K. did design the Mirror Universe uniforms, which our personal seamstress, Lynn, was very kindly able to run up for us for, what was it, the last Destination?
Last Destination. She ran them up very short notice, and they were really good. Yeah, she did a fast job.
Yeah.
And in fact, one of our friends you were mentioning earlier, Janina, she's actually been drawn into some of JK's artwork.
I would like to point out now that JK offered to draw James and I in to the next comic book series as well. And
how do we know he hasn't?
Well, we politely declined his offer. We said it was very kind of him to offer to, but we said it's okay. And because you've got to remember that we were very, very drunk. And the deal was that James said, you can draw me in, but I have to be wearing a cravat. So we'll have to see.
No, I think he would still have it.
I have a vague recollection.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So if there's a bizarre page in the new comic with James and I wearing cravats, then you heard it here first, and you know why. I doubt he remembers.
See, the thing is, now that I didn't have that recollection, but now that you've mentioned it, a memory stirs of that conversation around a piano in the Hilton bar.
That's exactly what. Yeah, that was.
Well, hang on, didn't we film? That was an interview. We filmed it.
Yeah,
I think so. Yes. Yeah, I'm sure.
He was very insistent. He's a lovely guy. He was really insistent. He wanted to draw us in, and he had his phone out and wanted to take pictures of us in a certain. And I was like, it genuinely is. JK, if you're watching, very kind of you to offer. We appreciate it, but if you can't somehow work out a way of us wearing cravats in the Terran Empire, we're just not interested.
It's a mirror universe. There must be a way. No, I believe this piece of news, I believe you may have touched on last week in my absence, which is that Robert Beltran, so Chakotay, is back for Prodigy.
We're very excited about this.
Yes, absolutely. My understanding is that he's going to be back as a captain. We don't know if that's as a hologram or in person, and we all hope he brings his medicine bundle. Moving on. Main story. That's
the end of the Robert
Hang on a
Beltran
minute,
news.
we haven't talked about his
That's the end
medicine
of the
sack.
Robert Beltran. Oh, do you want me to go back to Robert Beltran?
Yes, come on.
Yeah, talk about Robert Beltran's medicine sack.
Okay, there we go.
So
No,
he's
in all
going to
fairness,
be in Star Trek Prodigy, and so because he's famously a vegetarian, he's going to be captain of the USS Broccoli, which is a ship.
I knew you were going to say broccoli.
No, it's like a greengrocer's ship, except they only eat or take food from the ground which has naturally expelled itself. So he travels the galaxy. If an apple falls from the tree of its own accord, you're allowed to eat it, and he takes that.
Known as a fruitarian.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what he does.
They'll only eat fruit that's naturally fallen, otherwise they consider it murder of the fruit.
Yeah, or a vegetable that spontaneously combusted itself from the ground.
I'd like to think that he's got Tuvok on his ship, and Tuvok has actually turned Neelix into a rug.
I actually think that Chakotay as a character is given quite a hard time. He's often rated as one of the worst first officers, but I don't think that's justified.
Explain
Change
your
my mind.
position.
Dullest.
Explain your
perhaps.
position, Carl. I mean,
No. I said it first. Change my mind.
Okay, I'll change your mind because.
Okay, all right. You've changed my mind.
Okay, all right. Let's move on from Beltran's sack.
God, you're easy to persuade, aren't you?
Yeah.
Carry on then. What's the next item? Now this is the news about an exciting new range of gym wear.
Is gin wear something you wear while you're drinking gin?
Gym wear.
Oh,
well, I'm just going to have this image here, and then we're not going to go straight into the main news story. I think this is an appropriate time for us to run this week's wish clip. What do you think?
Wait a second. Hang on. Before you do that, you know how much these people paid to go on the Blue Origin rocket, apart from Shatner, who was gifted it?
An absolute fortune.
how much?
Look how much they spent on this photograph.
How much they pay?
Oh, it's
Well, let's face it. The
millions.
backdrop.
Yeah,
How many?
How many?
I have no idea how many millions it is, but it is millions.
But
As if
And
it's
look,
like-
they can't even match the
If
background
they
to the
spent
floor.
millions of lira, then that's about 100 grand.
Yeah,
Oh no, we're talking millions of American dollars.
yeah.
So,
We're not
like, what,
talking
100?
billions of wong here. It's the
It's
backdrop
hard
doesn't hit the
currency.
floor. You can see the seam behind the tallest guy. It's just not a great photo, is it? Let's be honest.
But did everyone watching and everyone here present in the show, did we all watch it?
Yes.
They weren't
Well,
up there for
yes.
long, were they? I mean,
No, like
that's
about
not a lot.
2 minutes.
That's an expensive prostitute.
The whole journey was just over 10 minutes for him from takeoff.
It wasn't a
landing,
lot,
wasn't
was it? You can go on the Dreamland
long.
drop. You can go on the Dreamland drop and experience anti-gravity for about 3.5 seconds. Would you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now they're saying that, Chris, you're not wrong. Actually.
And you
look
can
at
wear
Bill
one of
there,
them suits.
You look at Bill Shatner at the back there.
it's
he
probably
doesn't
safer.
Actually, look like he belongs.
Looks photoshopped. It does look a bit cheap. I got to watch this live. I have to say, I was impressed with the rocket technology. Wasn't impressed with how Bezos. I thought he did shamelessly kind of push. Yes, I sent Shatner up there for nothing, but I thought actually he was very patient listening to Shatner talk for longer than he probably should have done. Kind of like you do with old people that you respect. Yeah.
You don't get a much better marketing ploy than putting Captain Kirk into space. Let's face it. As a marketing ploy, Bezos, you've scored 100 out of 100 there.
Actually, just pausing there, Carl. Look at that photo again, right? So you've got two people sitting down there.
Yes.
Shatner is 90 years old, and these two young bucks are sitting down while making him stand. Have they no idea who he is? Have they no respect for their elders? Look at them. Disgraceful.
I think possibly. I think William Shatner. From what and you and I, do you remember we met him very briefly?
I've met him a number of times.
But he he would stand or sit as he pleases. No one would tell him. He probably chose to stand, I would say. If someone offered him a seat, he'd probably batter them.
Alan makes a good point here. So the people place a £1,000 deposit to reserve a ticket, and then it's between 300 and 400.
But how much is that in a currency we can understand, Carl?
Oh, crikey. I don't know. Probably about £500,000. So add a couple of noughts on to turn it into pence.
In terms of actual time, though, for an 11-minute rocket ride,
it's a lot,
between $300,000 and $400,000. That's something like what, $50,000 a minute or something.
Yep.
Now,
Nadim makes a
That's
good
a
point.
very expensive trip.
Yeah.
Nadim makes a very good
on
point
my
here.
league.
So normally it's £80 for a photo op with the Shatner. These guys definitely paid over the odds. Well done,
Bravo. Bravo.
Excellent. Oh dear. So yeah, I'm gonna go into the wish clip now, I think.
Well, don't forget to play the trailer. Well, dear viewer, this is a clip that I selected last week, but somehow I don't know what we quite did. We played loads of clips last week, but not the wish clip. This will be self-evident as to why I selected it. Roll VT.
Club.
Oh, miss the earth so much. I miss my wife. It's lonely out in space on such a time sprung. And I think it's going to be a long, long time to touchdown. Brings me back again to find I'm not the man they think I am back home. Oh, no, I'm a rocket man. Rocket man. Burning out his fuse out here alone. I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown bring me round again and find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh, no. I'm a rocket man. Rocket man. Burning out his fuse out here alone.
Bravo.
It doesn't get much better. It doesn't get much better than that, does it?
That was something to behold, wasn't it?
What was he smoking?
I was wondering the same. As I downloaded the clip, I was worried about the Google footprint it was going to leave.
Remember, kids, smoking is bad for your health, and it isn't cool, and it's not big, and it's not clever.
And if you are going to smoke, don't smoke super strength skunk LSD weed like Shatner was clearly smoking in that clip.
Absolutely. Now, Mr. Shatner, before he went up, did receive a very special tweet as well, and I'm going to self-indulge here by sharing this tweet with all of our
what's it from Donald Trump? Oh no, he's not on Twitter anymore, is he?
No, this was from someone far more innocent, a young little chap who also has the name William.
Is it your son,
this is my little lad.
Oh,
this is my
look
little
at him.
lad, William. And
look at him.
He decided, because he's absolutely obsessed with the Prodigy trailer, and so he's getting into his little Trekkie bits already. This is great stuff, great news for me. Really looking forward to Prodigy coming out. And when I was explaining to him that, Captain Kirk's going up in a rocket, he wanted to put his little Captain Kirk shirt on. And then he had this message for Mr. Shatner, which I just keep playing to myself over and over, and I can't help but smile. So please bear with me for the 4 seconds that it's on for. Now, could you hear that? Really hoping you could.
Captain Kirk, did he say?
He says, "Good luck, Captain Kirk."
Oh, good luck. Oh, bless him.
So very, very self-indulgent of me to show that on there, but yeah, I couldn't
That's
help
marvelous,
but do that.
Carl. Thank you for sharing it.
That is lovely.
Yeah.
But
Before we wind off of Kirk, I have to share, because we're running out of time, my favourite Shatner story, which I experienced with James. We're at Destination Star Trek, and James and I were just getting out of an elevator.
No, a lift.
And as we were getting out, this chap walked in. This guy had a William Shatner t-shirt on, a leather jacket with William Shatner's face on the back. He had like a tattoo of William Shatner on his forearm. He was a big William Shatner fan, massive. We got out of the lift. A security guard stepped forward, held the lift open, said, hold the lift. And up walks William Shatner and walks into the lift with this guy. And James and I looked at each other, and we looked at this guy, and this guy's there. He was going, and William Shatner just went, "Hey, nice shirt." And then the doors just closed. And honestly, that's my favourite moment from any convention I've been to.
It was
that includes getting Anson Mount's DNA.
Mm-hmm.
It includes offending Walter Koenig. It includes turning down A Night of Passion with Marina Sirtis. It was genuinely the most wonderful Star Trek experience at a convention I've had.
Let's be honest.
The look on the guy's face, wasn't he so happy?
He couldn't believe what had just happened to him. Yeah,
amazing.
Let's face it, that is right at the top of a very prestigious list.
Yeah. It was honestly just to see the look on that guy's face, and the way that Will Shatner as well. He didn't just sort of get in and just whatever. He just went, "Hey, nice shirt." It just did it so cool. Just so cool. It was just brilliant. It was wonderful.
Can I mention my favourite convention memory just because it's so much fun? If David Thompson is watching, it was one of the earlier ones in London, and we'd had a big night the night before on this very bridge, and we'd gone down to breakfast, and none of us were feeling very well. And I'd gone round a corner, and between David and I, there was a sheet of glass. And he came up to it and just went. And I will never ever forget that because it was so funny.
I have been and always shall be your friend.
And then he died.
Yeah.
Of his hangover.
Yeah.
But it's those moments that make the conventions worthwhile. It's great getting to see the guests and the talks and get your photo and your autograph to add to your collection and everything. But it's those moments. Those moments every time. Well, I think that's about all we've got time for this week, gents.
No episode of Choose Your Choose this week. Sorry, everyone.
I'm afraid not, no. I think we've managed to bulk out the time really well.
What about Cartoon Club?
Well, okay.
I've drawn a cartoon of someone. Let's have the first three guesses as to who I've drawn.
Hang on, let me make you bigger than me. There we go.
So on the back of this that I can see is the cartoon I have drawn. Let's have some guesses as to who the character is.
Is it a Star Trek character?
It is a Star Trek character.
Okay.
Yes, I've got it. I'm going to abstain from guessing because I think I've
You've seen it. You can't guess.
Yeah, but I'm not sure.
Can you
Everyone
guess who it is yet? Mr. Hom.
Okay.
Oh, it should be Alan who says
funnily
that.
enough, Alan said Mr. Hom as well.
No, it was a random guess.
No, you have to show them the picture now, James. So they can
three guesses. All right. Okay, here it is.
See, I got it straight away. I'm not sure everyone
Who's
will.
that then? Can you guess who it is yet?
It's Odo, isn't it?
It's Odo.
Oh, honestly, he's like Rolf Harris. Oh, Tony Hart.
Tony Hart. Let's go to the gallery.
Dear, oh dear. Well, yeah. And on that
Is that all we've got time for, Carl?
I believe that is all we've got time for, thank goodness. So we shall leave you, dear viewer, and anyone who's going to the Rikers Beard event next weekend, unfortunately, I can't
Next
be there.
Saturday, come and join us. It's going to be
I
so much
believe Dan
fun.
is hoping to be there to represent Trekkie's Guide with you guys down at Rikers Beard.
Jonathan
And I hope you
Frakes
have a
is going to be
wonderful
here.
weekend.
Yeah, Dan better be. I want Dan to do a quiz because, frankly, I haven't got time to write one.
Jonathan Frakes is going to be here as well.
Yes, yes,
Anderson
we're
Mount-
expecting to hear off him any day now about that, aren't we?
Anderson Mount's tooth DNA will be on display.
Yeah, there is actual guest DNA at the event.
We've invited George Lucas. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Was
Isn't
there any
local
word on
celebrity
Steve
Doc
Gutenberg?
Atherton coming?
Local celebrity Doc Atherton. Are you watching, Doc? Yeah, hopefully he'll be here.
Yeah.
We might persuade him to spin some discs for us.
Was he like a
Any
jungle?
word on
Yes.
Mr. Gutenberg? Did you manage to convince him?
So Steve Gutenberg will not be attending, but he might
Hang on.
bring it
Have
via
we got the
satellite.
Gutenberg update trailer before we have the Gutenberg news?
Sorry,
don't
hang
think
on.
not used
it
it
may
in
be
so
there
long.
somewhere. No, I think it's before we've moved to this particular medium.
Platform, yeah. Pre StreamYard.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I still haven't heard back
yes.
from his people saying no.
So Steve Gutenberg is still potentially open to us.
Yeah. He's not
Well,
said no.
Never say never. And
Again.
Yes, on that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen, we shall call it an evening. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend next weekend. I'm sorry I can't join you, but I shall see you definitely hopefully on the Sunday night for our.
Can you come by virtual presence device, Carl?
I will make the utmost
So, Carl,
effort
what
to do
Sunday
so.
night are you going to see us?
Well, this Sunday night stream next week.
Oh, you're not
Presumably you
going
will
to come down. You're gonna,
I can't,
not going to bring it
unfortunately,
via
no.
satellite. Okay, that's all right. It's okay. We're looking forward to seeing it
yes.
destination, as we do looking
Absolutely.
forward to seeing everyone else.
And remember, don't have nightmares.
Look after yourselves and each other.